LoreWarrior Armour, Donar Assault Helicopter. Overview. Similar in concept to the Innisphere Warrior attack helicopter, the Donar is fast and lethal. A more recent addition to the clan arsenal, the design was commissioned to fill a need in the clan Tauman for a fast assault unit capable of providing long-range fire support. Capabilities. The armoured cockpit of the Donar contains positions for 2 crewmen seated in tandem configuration, a pilot and co-pilot gunner. Designed to be occupied by clan aerospace warriors, these positions are cramped and uncomfortable for anyone else. These crew positions offer many of the same readouts, allowing either warrior to fly the craft or use its weapon systems. This redundancy covers only the most basic operations, however, because the forward co-pilot and gunner positions contains additional readouts for the weapon, targeting and navigation systems, while the rear pilot's position contains additional avionics displays. Heavily armoured for a VTOL, the Donar carries 3 tons of ferrofibrous armour, but even the best efforts of clan scientists to sufficiently protect its rotors leave that component relatively vulnerable. The rotor's armour protection does prevent accidental damage and keeps them operational even when struck by fire of up to 40mm caliber. Larger caliber weapons frequently destroy a section of the rotor, forcing the Donar to crash land, but structural reinforcement normally allows the crew to survive low speed and low altitude crashes. The Donar's primary weapon is an underslung extended-range large laser capable of delivering accurate fire against targets up to 750 meters away. A pair of pylon-mounted Streak SRMs provide a second layer of firepower. Both systems are aimed using a look-hit smart system that tracks the firer's eye movement and correlates that movement with electronic sensor data to select and lock onto the target. The system allows an experienced pilot to identify and destroy threats swiftly and efficiently, but it's very difficult for a novice pilot to master. Deployment. Most clans use the Donar, though the role varies considerably. Clans Hell's Horses use it as a cavalry helicopter for anti-armor and fire support missions. Steel Viper use the craft in some second-line clusters as a mobile fire support platform for infantry. Most clans, however, particularly Goliath Scorpion and Ice Hellion, use it as a scout. The SLDF gained several intact Donars when they overran Smoke Jaguar bases during Operation Bulldog. Variants. One of only 2 variants of a conventional vehicle in standard use by the clans, the reconnaissance variant of the Donar, used by Goliath Scorpion, replaces the twin SRMs and missiles with an active probe, an ECM system, and a tag designator. So this all translates to a 21-ton mass, with a movement type being VTOL. Its power plant is a Fusion 50, with a cruise of 97 and a flank speed of 151 kph. Its armour is the compound A2F ferrofibrous, armed with a single Series 7J extended range large laser and 2 Pattern J2 Streak SRM launchers. It's manufactured by various groups, and its communication system is the Unit 2J Boxer, and targeting and tracking is the HT9 TTS. A very aggressive looking VTOL as well, almost insect-like with its sort of pointed nose, and it also looks quite compact, as it says, so it definitely gives that idea of it being a hard target to hit in the air. Overall, it has a cruise of 9 and a flank of 14 with 12 heatsinks, with 16 armour on the front, 14 on the sides, 12 on the rear, and 2 for the rotors. The ER large laser is front mounted, as are the street launchers, with 50 shots split between both of them, so 25 rounds of fire. It's pretty cool looking little VTOL. Obviously, I'm assuming that the wings possibly either dip down a little for landing because of the wheels that you can see on the side, or that is just how it is normally. The large laser is very large on the bottom, but I understand the idea in that is that obviously a fair amount of the actual chassis is being used to lift that large laser and allow it to engage targets. But it also smartly emphasizes the size of this vehicle. It's actually quite small when the large laser is that big in comparison to it. But it also means it looks a lot more deadly because the weapon system is this like huge gun hanging off the bottom. So it's quite smartly put together from a visual perspective. Also, it's something to laugh at. An ER large laser is pretty damaging. Especially if you can imagine a star of these things, or a point, or whatever they call them for the clans, zooming over and being able to sort of lance targets at long range with the ER large lasers, and then the next couple of turns they're moving in and firing that and dumping both of the Streak SRMs for guaranteed hits. When obviously you roll to hit, all of the missiles are going to hit, so that's quite nasty. So yeah, it's not too bad for a 21 tonner, fairly cheap probably to produce for the clans as well. They could probably augment quite a few of their second line or PGCs with these things and be able to effectively use them against inner sphere targets. And I imagine in clan v clan warfare these kind of vehicles are probably very useful in being able to detect enemy stars of mechs long before they've had a chance to get into combat range. So yeah, overall not bad, aggressive little vehicle, and certainly a nice sort of cheap enemy to throw at players who may be doing some missions fighting against the clans in occupied territory, for instance, being able to engage planetary garrison clusters with them, obviously encountering some of these lighter vehicles and these kind of VTOLs as well. And yeah, just creating something that's a little bit of a sort of taster before getting to some of the actual Omni-mechs, or even some of the second line battle mechs that the clans would have. So yeah, you get an idea of like, wow, if this is how deadly the helicopters are, what the fuck are the mechs like, kind of thing. Be great kind of slow introduction of clan tech for players who may not have encountered or know much about the clans, so for relatively new players like that, if you wanted to introduce that kind of, you know, scaling difficulty as you went along, it'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I've not got much else to say about that. That's the Donar assault helicopter. And you know what, in MechWarrior titles in the past, probably shot down a lot of these, not really thought much about them, but yeah, overall, not bad little vehicles. Yeah, again, it's really good art. Just emphasise a lot of the elements of the vehicle from the description, and yeah, you get some pretty good sort of ideas of how you'd use them effectively. So yeah, thanks for listening. As always, have a good one. I will catch you in the next episode. Bye bye.